What's up? This is Just Plain Nonsense.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Rob. All right. So, since this is our very first podcast, I thought it would be a good idea for us to get to know each other. Okay?
I agree.
All right.
Should get to know each
So,
other.
for those of you who don't know, we just met like a couple days ago, and we decided to do a podcast. So, I looked up some questions, and I'm going to ask you these questions, and we can both take turns answering them. All right?
I accept.
Okay. What would you do if you were the opposite sex for a month?
Do we give you the stereotypical answer, or should we try to be creative with this one?
Just be creative, like
Okay.
whatever you would do that's like not.
So I'll go to my
super sexual.
second. Yeah, I'll go to my second train of thought.
Right.
I'd wear cute shoes.
That's it. You're so sexist. It's not even funny.
Let's see here. I would do things that chicks don't normally do to throw guys off.
So you would like try to flirt with dudes, but like make it super weird.
Yeah.
Oh well, actually, I think that's what girls already do.
Yeah, I don't know, actually. I'd put my makeup on all crazy like. Look like the guy from The Crow. Especially if I was a hot chick, it'd be even better.
Just make yourself look all crazy.
And just be really creepy. Hit on guys at the bar and make them feel uncomfortable like a lot of the dudes do some of the chicks.
Right.
Just be like, what are you doing later?
What are you doing? Just try to be as aggressive as possible.
Yeah.
Dude, if it were me, like, and I was going to do that, I would go find like the ugliest, nerdiest, like, kid with the most back knee that I could possibly
Just make him feel good about himself.
Yeah, if I was like a hot chick, that's what I would do. I would be like, hey, buddy, what's going on?
And then like the studs come up to you and you're like, you're way too hot for me. Way too hot.
You're out of my league. All right, next question.
I'm not attracted to attractive people or something like that.
Next question.
All right.
What is the most expensive thing you've stolen?
I've never stolen before.
What?
Seriously.
Nothing at all.
Not that I can think of now.
Wow. Can you make something up?
Did you want to make up like a grand
I
story?
stole a car. I stole a whole entire skyscraper.
I stole the Holy Grail. No, I got nothing, man. What about you? Just do anything crazy?
I mean, when I was younger, I used to steal stuff from this convenience store. We would go in and we would have competitions to see who could steal the most.
Oh, dude, I just realized I'm a liar. I'm a liar.
Oh my gosh.
I have stolen something before. I guess I didn't have any conviction. That's why I guess I'm a bad person.
What'd you steal?
I stole a wheelchair from a hospital.
What?
Yeah, and I named it the mic chair. And back in my younger days, I used to keep it at my buddy's house, and when we'd do activities that were mind altering, I would just have my wheelchair and I'd just wheel around in it. And
You stole a wheelchair
from a
Some
hospital.
old lady probably needed that to get around.
Probably, the husband's probably pulling the truck around. Don't worry, honey, I'll get it. Where's the wheelchair? Mike's got it.
So yeah, we used to have competitions to see who could steal the most, and at one point we got locked in a cage because we were trying to get out, and they wouldn't let us out because they knew we had stolen some stuff.
So which one of us is the bigger piece of crap?
Probably you. I mean, that's not the most expensive thing I've stolen. But that was just a good story about me stealing stuff. Like probably the most expensive thing I've stolen was I downloaded a lot of movies and software.
Are you confessing to crimes on the air?
No. I mean, it's all hearsay. There's no proof.
Right. Yeah, it's not like it's a confession or anything on the air.
No. I mean, I've downloaded like software and movies and stuff like that. So I would say probably the most expensive thing that I've ever, that is considered stealing, but it was $15,000 worth of software that I illegally downloaded.
I don't feel like you should be saying this. I
don't have it. I don't have it anymore. I deleted it. I don't have that anymore. Everything I do now is legit.
Right.
But yeah, that was it. That's probably the most expensive thing is software.
Huh.
Which makes me, I guess I'm the ultra nerd.
Yeah, I'm just a piece of crap. I stole a wheelchair.
I don't steal cars. I steal intellectual property. What is the most childish thing you still do?
It's everything I do. I don't know. I mean, I'm like most people, I guess. I still think farts are funny unless they're somebody else's.
Do you still pick your nose and eat it?
No, I don't do that.
Not in public anyway.
I've never done that. It doesn't seem like it's very flavorful to me. It's not my go-to snack, you know.
I mean, from what I understand, I don't know from experience, but I understand that they're salty. Like your tears.
I haven't tried a lot of tears either.
Oh, so you don't cry, you don't eat your boogers. What kind of kid were you?
Probably normal. Probably normal.
No, normal kids cry and eat their boogers.
But abnormal then, I guess.
Have you ever let someone take the blame for something you did?
Yeah, dude, I got siblings. But I feel like more so my siblings have done that to me.
Well, of course you're going to think that because that's a biased thought. You're like, no, they've done it more to me than I've done it to them.
Well, I remember my stepmom had this porcelain swan, and my little sister chipped the wing off of it.
Oh, no.
And, of course, she was smart. She ran and cried and said that I broke it. So immediately it just looked like I did it because she was the first one to tell.
Right.
So then I got,
See, my brother used to do
punished.
that to me. He used to hit me and then run to my dad, and I would never get to hit him back. It made me so angry because then my dad would get mad at me for chasing him.
Now, one time I got back at my sister and I locked her in the closet.
For how long?
Not very long. She was kicking and screaming, and I knew it wasn't very long before I got found out. So I let her
Probably
out,
because there was a ghost in there attacking her.
Probably.
What do most of your friends think about you that is totally untrue?
I don't know, because I don't think they really have had the balls to tell me.
My friends think that I care. I'm kidding. I really do care.
Probably that I'm too awesome. That's probably it.
And that is false.
No, I'm just regular awesome.
Who here would you most like to make out with?
Myself.
I mean, I don't know if that's possible.
Skip that question.
Tell me about your most awkward date.
Well, I'm a weird guy, so I've attracted weird women, I guess, over the years. So I don't know, I've had a lot of them. Probably more so would be my weirdest sexual experience.
Is that something you feel comfortable getting into?
Sure, why not? We all have a past. Honey, don't listen to this one. One time I was met a girl on a trolley. I lived in San Diego.
Okay.
Real classy move. And I brought her back to my place, and I guess she was on her period, and she took the tampon out. This is how trashy she was, and how trashy I was, I guess, too, for accepting this to happen. But she took the tampon out and flung it across the room, did like a rodeo lasso kind of thing, and then chucked it. And, we continued with the activity. And then the next day, got up, left, walked to the trolley, and then I realized something when I was in the trolley. I felt a squish in my shoe.
Oh, God.
Sure enough, a little rascal made it into my shoe, and I was stepping on it. I guess I managed to walk like half a mile and didn't even realize it until I got there.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
Yeah.
Here's a question. How did you remove it from your shoe?
The same way she did the old cowboy lasso. Get out of here. No.
I was hoping you did like the bobbing for apples version with your teeth.
No. No, that was pretty disgusting. What about you?
Oh,
So we're getting deep on each other here.
phrasing.
No homo. Let me rephrase that.
No homo.
Since we're having deeper searches into our upcoming friendship, I don't know. I don't know where that is.
Let's see. I mean, I'm a big dude, and I haven't gone on a whole lot of dates, but one that I did go on, I met this girl on Match. I think I met her on Match or Christian Mingle, one of those. And we went to Red Lobster, and we're sitting there, and like the girl, it looked like her profile picture was from like 10 years prior. So first of all, she looked nothing like.
Why did they do that? Like they know you're definitely going to meet them,
right?
So why did they do that?
Right. I mean, she looked, and this is being superficial, but she had probably put on like 70 to 100 pounds since she took that
It's
picture.
not being superficial if it's a lie. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
This is me. It's just 37 years ago. And
all the pictures that I put on there were of like most of my body, and like.
Right.
I didn't try to hide anything.
No deception.
Right. I was just straightforward, which was probably why I didn't get any responses. But anyway, so I'm on this date with this girl, and like that was awkward at first because I didn't even recognize her. She had to come up to me and be like, "Oh, hey," and I'm like, "Oh, it's you." So we sit down and we're talking for a while, and we talk about the standard normal stuff you talk about on a date. But she ordered everything that I did. Everything, water, the same type of pasta, like every single thing was exactly the same.
It's weird.
And I'm like, come on, man, have your own thought. And then just the part that got me the most is every time she would turn her head and look to the side, just her neck would stick out on the side. And I'm like, I can't. So
how'd the date end? Did it end with a walk to the door? Or?
Well, no, I mean, we met there. We met. So we were walking out to our cars, and we were talking for a minute, and she left and I left. And then she sent me a message later on whatever dating app it was. And she goes, I was hoping to hug you before I left. And I said, listen, I got to be honest. I wasn't feeling the same way. I apologize. And I never heard back from her again.
That is awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty awkward.
At least you didn't tell her that in Red Lobster.
Right. No, I waited until we left.
Should have called her out. Will you order something for yourself? I want a water with light ice and a salad with a Caesar dressing.
I'll have the same.
She's like, I'll have exactly the same thing.
Now, man, that's what I want. Like, I need somebody with like their own opinions and thoughts, and
right,
just that who are themselves.
Wait, so you want a smart girl?
I want a smart. I really want a smart girl.
You can't control them as easily. How you gonna brainwash her if she's got her own thoughts, man?
That's my goal.
I don't know with the Red Lobster chick, man. You could be like,
that's my thing. Is I don't want to control her. I want her to be her own person.
That's weird.
I'm a different kind of guy, I guess.
I'm the same guy that stole a wheelchair. So I guess look at my moral compass.
You not only do you want to control women, you want to control like crippled, disabled women.
Yeah, I want to control everyone.
All the ones. All right. So, what is the silliest thing that you have an emotional attachment to?
Ooh, I feel like I'd have to really put some thought into this because I get attached to objects very easily.
Right.
Like I have a hard time throwing stuff away. So
actually, that kind of reminds me. So, have you seen the show like My Strange Addiction?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of like that, but it was a show like a long time ago in the late 90s. There was like this person had like OCD or I don't know what it was exactly, but apparently they brought in these experts to try to help them because their house was like full of stuff. And they had this cheeseburger wrapper that they'd had for decades.
Is that a guy that raps about cheeseburgers?
Yeah. His name was McCheeseballhead.
For Rizzle.
Yeah. So anyway, they had this cheeseburger wrapper.
That's a horrible rap name.
That was the first thing.
I can't let that go. That's a horrible rap name.
That's the first thing I came up with. McDrizzle. No, I don't know. That just sounds
Cheesehead. That doesn't sound gangster at all.
Shut up. Was that gangster?
That was, dude. You put me in my place.
Okay, so they had this cheeseburger wrapper, and they it was moldy and smelled terrible, and that they would freak out anytime they would try to throw it in the trash. Anytime they would try to put it in the trash, they would lose their mind.
Klepto towards trash.
I guess. Like, it was a hoarder, I guess, but with severe OCD.
Or not klepto. Klepto somebody steals. God.
Maybe they stole it. I don't know.
I need more Red Bull.
It could have been stolen. Get after it. And I'll look up this next question.
Okay. Gulp, 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 gulp.
That was literally him drinking. That's what he sounds like. He's a cartoon. Ooh. I don't know if we may not want to answer this one.
Okay.
What is your deepest, darkest fear? We may not want to get that deep on this one.
Oh, I don't know. Because I feel like I myself, if somebody was to step into my head, they would walk immediately back out. Like, walk right back out. They'd Jenny Craig and power walk out and be like, what the F was that?
Well, see, what's crazy is a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel like they are the craziest person on the planet.
Right.
Like, anybody stepped in, they would be incredibly freaked out.
If you could actually have a way to read someone's thoughts, like technology, and just at any time, hone in on their thoughts when they don't know it, you'd realize that human beings are just weird. Absolutely weird.
We think of some of the craziest, weirdest things, but what's funny is that
we project other people as our best,
of course,
our edited version of it,
right?
And like this podcast,
and then right, and then Facebook is even the edited version of that,
right? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if everybody thinks that they're the craziest person, that they have the weirdest thoughts ever, but you really don't. Everybody has those crazy, weird thoughts.
Yeah.
So, do you know what your deepest, darkest fear is?
Probably my greatest fear is the death of someone real close, like my children or my wife.
Right.
I feel like that frightens me just because of how fragile human beings are.
Okay.
I think that's always a thing because I guess life in general is uncertain. So I think that's what terrifies me is you never know what the next day is going to bring. Right. And how temporary everything is. I mean, even a high score on a pinball machine that may last 3 or 4 lifetimes, but then that game dies. And just the absolute end to everything. And everything that matters, in my perspective, I think that frightens me.
Okay.
You?
Yeah. Yeah. The end, like you don't really think about it because you hear about people dying all the time, but
Right.
then like all of a sudden, if you actually consider that person, their life is over. Like
Right.
there's nothing else after that. I mean,
Their future dreams, their everything.
Yeah.
The future in general. It's
anybody that they could have had an impact on or ever met in their entire life after that is completely over.
Well, one of my grandfathers used to say his greatest fear was being forgotten because he knew that after his grandkids, it didn't matter that he existed anymore.
Right.
So I feel a fear to that too. Just the idea that
that is a scary thought because it's like, you got nothing to pass on.
right.
That's actually mine. Like mine would be like just being alone forever. Like
Right.
never having someone that like loves me. Like, I mean, my family, my parents, my brothers, I know they love me.
So yours is just that general companionship, just having
Yeah. I just want somebody that I can like share my life with. And I haven't found it.
all right.
And that's my fear is like that I'm never going to find it.
Oh, so your fear. Well, I mean, I guess both of our greatest fears are very relevant and very possible. Well,
Right.
mine's inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine can be attained.
Yeah.
I just have to
Good
put
for you. Good for you.
some more effort
Your
into it.
fear is not inevitable. That's
Right.
good.
All right. Actually, this will be kind of a fun one. Tell me about your first kiss.
Actually, yeah, I got a pretty good story on my first kiss. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance to all the special ed people out there.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I was in kindergarten.
Hold on. If you have to preface a story by apologizing to anybody who's in special ed, this is going to be both terrible and amazing.
It was so traumatizing to me that I still remember her name, Cassie, if you're out there. Sorry. If you can comprehend this. God, it's messed up. All right,
oh my God, you're a terrible, terrible person.
Well, I still have a wheelchair. So anyways, so I was in kindergarten. I remember we just got on eating our raisins or whatever the snack was. And we went out to the playground and we were playing. And all of a sudden, because our grade school's attached to a special ed school,
Right.
And so this girl named Cassie walks up to me. And the last thing I hear when I turn around is, and then she attaches her mouth to my nose and starts sucking on it. Like I don't know, like it's a bottle or something. She just
wow.
sucks on it.
How old were you?
I was in kindergarten.
Okay. So
I froze in fear. And then after that she just kind of ran off, and that always stuck with me. It was like my first traumatizing event was just that first kiss.
Oh wow.
Best one I ever had.
So okay, so that was like your first like accidental kiss. Like that really, I mean,
well, you
okay.
said first kiss, and that covers it.
No, that's good. That's good. Go ahead and do the one that actually like was intentional.
Oh,
your first one that was intentional. And then I'll go with my accidental one and then my intentional one.
God, the more we talk about me, the less people are gonna like me. My first one, I don't really remember her name.
Oh man.
Yeah, because my first like intimate kiss, I was in my teenage years, and it was also early into drinking, and I just kind of met somebody I thought she was cute, and it kind of just happened, and I don't know who the hell she is. If I walked up to her in a grocery store and she's like, "Hey, remember me?" I'd be like, "No, I don't." But
Wow, that's sad.
Yeah, let's say that the first time I lost my virginity. I mean, I have no idea who she is.
Hold on, did you say did you just say the first time you lost your virginity?
I mean, the only time I lost my virginity. I don't remember her either. Like, I don't know her name. If she walked up to me, same thing. The Dairy Aisle Kroger, she's like, "Hey, you remember me?" I'm like, "No."
Do you remember the story about your first kiss? So like, what led up to it? What happened?
Yeah,
was it anything special?
It was just one of those, I think you're hot, and she's probably like, "Yeah." I don't know.
Your impersonation of women always cracks me up.
Yeah, that's why back to the if I was a woman thing, I think that'd be the dead giveaway is my voice. Hopefully the voice would go with it.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, you'd be a woman.
Yeah. I'm Peggy.
All right, I'm going to tell you about mine.
Okay.
So my first kiss was when I was like, I don't know, probably like 7 or 10, somewhere around in there. And we lived close to this family of girls. Like it was 5 girls.
Sweet.
And I was attracted to 4 of them. The oldest one I wasn't attracted to. But my first kiss was I was over at their house one night, staying the night. And I don't remember what led up to it, but I remember laying in the floor with one of these girls. Her name was Angie. I'm not going to say her last name. But we were going back and forth saying which kind of kiss we wanted to do, French kiss or regular kiss. Right. She would always say regular, and I would always say French kiss. Like, we didn't know what we were doing.
Did you sneak attack her?
What do you mean?
Like when she went for regular kiss, you just slid the tongue in there?
Oh,
like,
no.
Like,
and
gotcha.
there wasn't any tongue. Like I said, we didn't know what we were doing. But I liked the longer kisses, and she wanted the shorter ones. So I was like, we just go back and forth like that. But that was like my first, like, didn't really know what I was doing kiss. My actual first real kiss was with this girl. I was texting her. We were texting each other for several days.
Oh, so she wasn't ignoring you?
Right. It wasn't me just being like, hey, what's going on? Like 47 text messages in. And she's finally like, leave me alone. No, we were texting each other back and forth for several days, maybe even a week or so. And I sent her a text one time. I was at work and she was at work, and I said, I'm going to kiss you on Monday.
Damn.
Yeah. And she's like, well, I mean, all right. I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was something along the lines of, okay. And so that Monday came, and we're hanging out in her office at work. And I said, so she's standing on one side of the room and I'm on the other, and I'm looking at her, and she's like not really making eye contact with me. And I said, so does your stomach feel like mine does? And she goes, I was like, it's in knots. And she's like, yeah. I was like, are you waiting for me? She goes, yeah. So I just stepped up and I grabbed her by the hips and I pulled her to me, and she attacked me.
wait, look. So she like hit you and
no, no, she came at me like right at my lips. So that was like the first kiss was.
Oh, okay. Because the way that story was going, I thought this is more like the first rape, not really the first kiss.
No, definitely not the first rape.
It was definitely not my first rape.
There's more after that. No, it was that's how that went down, which I was really impressed with how that went down, because I've never had anybody attack my face like that. But my eyes were open.
That's creepy. You don't do that.
I didn't mean to. It just happened. Like, that was my first kiss. So I was like, my eyes were open. Where is the strangest place you have peed?
Oh, God. Let's go with strangest time I can remember. It'd have to be...
Well, yeah, you're not going to talk about the strangest place you peed that you couldn't remember.
Well, I used to drink really heavy, so I'm sure there were some crazy times where, as far as urination goes. I peed on a Thai girl in a shower.
You peed on a tiger?
A Thai girl.
You peed on a Thai girl?
Yeah, in a shower.
What?
Yeah.
We're going to need some backstory
here. Just basic.
Were you in Thailand?
On a Thai girl situation.
Were you in Thailand?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in a shower.
In Thailand?
Yeah.
Her shower?
No, it was the hotel shower. And then, yeah, I mean, she didn't ask for it. After which, I didn't think she noticed because the water was already warm. And she goes, "Oh, you filthy American!" I'm like, "Oh, you noticed?"
See, I was imagining her like curled up in a ball, like down by the drain, and you're peeing on her while she's laying there.
Yeah, let's just say she didn't attack my face afterwards. Like, you got different result.
Different kind of attack.
I mean, I've peed in a lot of random spots. I've peed. A girl I used to date in my younger days, also drinking days. She was in the front seat, I was in the back seat, and she peed out of a moving car, and the windows were rolled down, and I got hit in the face with urine.
Oh, no.
That was weird, but that wasn't my doing. I was just the victim of that pee story.
That's awesome.
What about you?
I was trying to think while you were telling your stories. I was trying to think of was it the weirdest? What is the strangest place?
I hope so. What was the question? Wasn't like,
what's the most normal place you've ever peed?
Where do you commonly pee? Thai girl. Shower.
I'm trying to think. I think the strangest place I've ever peed is, well, see, I'm wanting to say that it's off a rooftop, but I don't even know if that's true. I think I may be just making that up.
That's weird. You don't know. You mix up reality a lot with.
I do. Like,
maybe it's a dream. I don't know.
So I'll tell you a story about that. When I was younger, I used to lie a lot. Like just because I wanted what I wanted. Like, I wouldn't lie to like my family and stuff like that, but like at school, I would be like, I would want to go to sleep, so I would tell them I had a headache.
Right. It's a skill, man. Lying's a skill.
Right, but like I would do it so much that I started to believe it. Like I would tell it so much, I'd be like, did that actually happen or did I make it up? I mean, I don't lie now. Like I do not lie about anything now. But back then,
that's a lie.
Right. Right.
See what I did there?
See what I did there? I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, I know of like I've peed in like. Oh, actually, well, the one that comes to mind is I was in my bedroom. Okay. I grew up with 5 brothers and then my 2 parents. So we had a 1-bathroom house. So if somebody was in the bathroom, you had to wait. And I had to pee really, really bad. So I found a cup, like a McDonald's cup, and I peed in it in my bedroom. And then I closed it, so that I could, like, hopefully nobody would know that I just did that. So then I could go dispose of it later. But that was probably the strangest place I peed. I see you looking at me like hoping that somebody would have drank it.
I was thinking
I
that,
can see you looking at me like hoping that
plays out the story with somebody drinking it.
What is the scariest dream you have ever had?
I've had quite a few. Them mainly being scary because of the fact of how real it felt.
Right. It's crazy how in a dream it feels incredibly real, but then you wake up and you're like, what was I even worried about?
Yeah. I don't know. Some of them like stick with you.
Yeah. I've got a couple that I've had that like still stick with me, and one of them I had when I was 10. Right.
Yeah. I've had some crazy ones. I've had some of them come true, which is even trippier.
Well, tell us about one.
I had one when I was a kid about my grandfather passing away. In the dream, I was spending the night at his house, and the floor started splitting. And I went down the hallway, and I was like terrified. I remember running down the hallway, and I looked, and his room was down this long hallway down to the right, on the right-hand side.
Right.
So I had to cross the long hallway. The floor was cracking. I felt heat coming up from it. And I turned over and looked to the right, and my grandfather was on his bed, and like there was, I guess you would describe it as the devil, because he looked like demonic, and he was like forcing him down, and he looked over at me, and I remember freezing in fear, and he just looked so crazy. But I remember him looking at me with those eyes, and he was like, I'm taking him. And I freaked out and woke up. And the eerie part about this is what makes this the scariest dream is how it ties in reality, is not too long after that. And the crazy thing is I told my mom about that dream that night and called my grandfather, and he was like, oh, it's just a weird dream, because you're a kid, so we want to be consoled after his dream. He died.
What?
Yeah. That's what makes that dream so traumatizing.
How long after the dream did he die?
Dude, not long at all. I mean, we're talking like weeks.
What?
Yeah, that's what made it so trippy. And if I wouldn't have told my mom before that, no one would have ever believed it. I mean, she can back me up and be like,
that's insane.
Super creepy. So it also makes me question, like, what's up with dreams, dude? Why are they so weird?
Are you like some kind of future seer?
Yeah, like some kind of subconscious psychic and don't know it and use dreams. I don't know. That's a crazy concept. But yeah, dude, I don't know. It was super weird. That one really terrified me big time.
I bet. It sounds super scary.
Yeah. What about you, man?
So my dream, the creepiest one that I've ever had, I've only had really like one nightmare in my entire life, and this was it. So I'm in this like giant complex, and it's it seems like it's like at the bottom of a dried up lake bed, because we're surrounded by mountains. I can see them like really far in the distance. And it's like a dark, like cloudy, stormy night. Like it's not raining or anything, but like it's really cloudy.
Right.
And I'm in this complex of, there's dirt paths everywhere, and there's these buildings that are made out of stones. And they're placed like on a grid. They're all like straight lines everywhere. And then I'm walking down the main road of this complex, and there's buildings on both sides of me. And all of a sudden I get sucked into one of the walls on one side, and I crash through the stones, and I land in a big pile of rubble. And there's a huge hole in the wall. I get up from the rubble, and I walk out, and I start walking down the path again, and I get a couple steps, and I get sucked into a building on the other side. Same thing, crash through the wall. This happens about 4 or 5 times, and I get up, and then I start walking down the path, and I reach the end of the path. Well, I'm not quite there yet, but in front of me is a lady in a black lace dress. She has like long black curly hair, and she's walking away from me. She's barefoot.
Is she hot?
I mean, I don't know. She was skinny.
I'm just trying to get a picture. Is she like a Victorian era? Is she like a modern black silk kind of thing?
Think of did you see Fight Club?
Yeah.
The chick in that
gotcha.
that Brad Pitt is all
gotcha. Because I was just trying to paint the picture. She's like an attractive woman, and she's like this creepy like.
Well, I couldn't see her face. All I could see was the back.
Okay.
And she was wearing a black lace dress, and then there was a shorter lady. Like yipping at her heels, like, yes, like completely agreeing with her. And she was wearing like a dark gray dress, the lace and everything. Huh. She was just like a smaller version of that lady. So they are right at the end of the complex, just a little bit past it. And I'm not quite to the end yet. And I'm walking toward them and I stop and she stops. And then all of a sudden she turns around to look at me, but she turns her upper body, not her feet. Her feet stay planted facing the opposite direction.
Whoa, that's weird.
Yeah. And she turns around and she looks at me and she goes, "It's me. It's me." And she puts her fingers into her cheeks and they kind of break apart like dried mud. And this light starts coming out while she's like, "It's me. It's me." And I woke up gasping. Like I was so freaking terrified. I couldn't go to sleep for hours after that.
That's trippy.
That is the craziest dream I've ever had.
Dang, that's trippy.
Yeah. But when I was 10, I had a dream that I was murdered. I was 10 years old having the dream, but in my dream, I was like in my 30s.
Huh.
And I was wearing a blue button-up shirt, and I was in an auto parts store. And
That's very detailed.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. And I was looking at some parts on the wall, and I heard somebody come in behind me, and they said, "Don't turn around." Of course, I turned around.
Yeah.
And
Immediately.
he shoots me in the stomach with a shotgun.
Whoa, that sounds okay. That's really creepy because I had a dream like that where I got shot. And did you feel it when you woke up?
Yes, I felt it.
Holy crap, man! I've had a dream like that where I was shot, and like I felt the burning, like the hot metal, everything,
Right.
and like I woke up and I still felt this hole in my stomach.
See, I didn't feel the hot burning. I just felt like tingling in my stomach where I got shot.
Oh, it felt crazy. And then like it was almost like a shock of electricity goes through you because that initial pain.
Right, that's probably what woke me up.
Yeah, and then you wake up and for a second I still felt the pain in my stomach.
It was insane.
Yeah, it's like your brain recognized that pain and still felt it once you went into your conscious mode.
Right.
That's crazy.
Dude,
so dreams are a trip, man.
It was nuts. It was very, very nuts. Now, we're going to go a little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah. Let's shift gears for a second.
Shift gears. Okay, so what is the most embarrassing thing in your room?
My wife. No, just kidding.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. No, probably whatever is in my top left dresser door.
And that would be?
Just sex stuff.
So if somebody were to ever go in there and accidentally go in that drawer, they'd be like,
do not go in that door.
Mine would be, and it's the only reason it's embarrassing is because it could be misconstrued as to what it is used for.
Oh, God. It's a dildo, but it's not used as a dildo. I use it to reach stuff.
I use it as a straw. Okay. No, it's a massager. Like, it's just a regular massager that's for your back. It's shaped like a dolphin. And it's like, I would assume
I'm questioning you right now, bro.
That's what
in
I'm saying.
In my mind, I'm questioning you.
That's the most embarrassing thing that's in my
Yeah, it had to be a dolphin, too. It's a horrible dolphin impersonation.
Is that a special ed dolphin?
That's the Cassie dolphin.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. Why did you break up with your last boyfriend or girlfriend? Did you have a boyfriend before?
No,
okay.
no.
So we're gonna specify, why did you break up with your last girlfriend?
See, I'm trying to think of my ex. I've been with my wife for a while. Greatest thing that ever happened to me. Disclaimer.
It's brown nosing over here.
Yeah. Well, the very last one was kind of a fling that lasted a couple weeks. She was a Russian girl named Dasha, and I don't know. It just
Was she hot?
disclaimer. No one's as hot as my wife, but yeah, of course. I mean,
Right. She's Russian. She has to be hot.
yeah. She kind of had a deep voice, but not really. Like, kind of hit the but not quite the stereotype, you know.
Right. I got you.
She did like vodka, which kind of
course.
also fit the stereotype.
I love them potatoes.
But yeah, I met her at a hookah bar. That was the last one, and yeah, I don't know. Just one of those things just fizzed out. It wasn't really.
You just lost interest in each other.
Yeah.
Mine's a little bit more like painful than that.
Yeah. You're like, we were married, and then
No, I dated this girl. It's the same girl that with my first kiss. I dated this girl for 2 years, and something happened at work where she ended up getting suspended. And during that time, while she was suspended, she ended up moving back in with her ex. Yeah, so I found out.
That's a recipe for bad stuff.
Exactly. And I found out 4 days after she had moved in with him. So we had been still talking and like seeing each other 4 days after she moved in with her ex. So once I found out, like my brother is actually the one who told me, because he knew her too. So once I found out, like so sick to my stomach, like I wanted to vomit as soon as I heard it.
Right.
So I went home and I sent her a text and I said, hey, I need you to call me as soon as you get up, because it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. And I couldn't wait. So I wrote a huge long message and I sent it to her.
Did he answer it?
No.
That'd be messed up.
I hope not.
I'll let her know. Okay.
No, it was. So I sent her this really, really long message, basically being like, "Look, if this is any indication of what our future is going to be like, I don't want to be any part of it."
Yeah.
So I ended that of a relationship of 2 years, because and plus, I mean, it was like I felt like I couldn't trust her throughout the whole relationship. Red flags everywhere.
Right. Well, yeah. Start seeing red flags. You need to.
Well, I mean, I knew the red flags were there, but I was kind of like hoping.
Well, that's human nature. Humans, we have this stupid thing where we have hope. So, like, people always like try to like, well, maybe things will get better, and
they don't.
And they don't, because people are also creatures of habit. So you see these red flags coming up, they're probably going to maintain those habits and things they do, or those things relatively close to them. So,
tell me the story of the last time you peed in bed.
I think I was a kid. I don't really.
Well, I actually have one. This happened a couple times, and I was older. Like I wasn't like 40 or anything, because I'm not quite there yet. But for some reason, a couple times I would like imagine that I was at the toilet peeing, and I would like try to go, and all of a sudden it would feel super warm, and I'm like, oh my God, am I peeing on myself? And I would wake up.
See, that reminds me of. Because when I was a kid, I didn't pee the bed, but I sleptwalk and peed before. My mom was in the living room with one of her friends, and I'd already been tucked into bed. I was probably like 8, 10 years old or something like that. Right. And I guess I had to pee, so I sleptwalked all the way to the living room, walked right next to where my mom's friend was sitting, lifted up the couch cushion, started peeing whipped it out and started peeing right in front of her, and then put the couch cushion back down, knocked over the lamp, went back to bed. And that was the only little pee. That wasn't a bed. That was a couch.
It's just a pee story.
Yeah, that's just a pee story.
What is the most disgusting habit you have? I can talk about some disgusting stuff that I've seen other people do.
Yeah.
I think that would be more fun.
I wouldn't mind telling myself on something like that, but I can't think of anything that stands out.
So I'll tell you about, not mine, but like one that I saw this dude doing one time. This guy stayed at my house. He lived with me and my brother for a little while because he didn't have a place to go. And he was sitting there on the floor one day watching TV. And I walk in the room and he's sitting there picking at the dead skin on his toes because he had ingrown toenails. Like this dude was very, very gross. He had ingrown toenails, and his skin, the dead skin that was coming off of it, he would pick it off and eat it.
Oh, that is gross.
He would just pick it and eat it. I'm like,
dead infected toe skin?
Yeah.
Yummy.
I don't understand why he
sounds delicious.
It's so nasty. What is the cruelest joke you played on someone?
I don't know. I've never really been much of a prankster.
I've done a few. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm going to tell this story. Okay. So when we were younger, I lived in Houston. And we would have people come over to our house and hang out. My dad worked all the time, so our friends would come over and hang out all the time. So while we were there, one day, this is gonna change everybody's perception of me. We had one kid who, for some reason, we ended up handcuffing him. There's 3 of us against him. We handcuffed him. And one of us, I can't remember which one, ended up pantsing him. They pulled his pants down. So this kid is standing in the middle of the dining room with his pants down around his ankles, handcuffed. Let me finish the story before you ask that, because it gets worse.
Okay.
So he bends down to pick up his pants, and one of the other people that were there, it was not me. I'll straight up say that it was not me. Took a chicken bone and stuck it in between his butt cheeks.
What? Okay, so many questions right now.
Go ahead.
One, where'd you guys get handcuffs? Two, where'd you guys randomly get a chicken bone? And three, what kind of friends do you have?
All right.
Like, who says like, hey, what should we do? Oh, let's just handcuff our buddy, no homo, handcuff him, pull his pants down, and shove stuff up his butt. Yeah, that's just, woo, we'll get him, we'll show him.
All right. So to answer question number one, my dad was a bounty hunter.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
That's where the handcuffs came from. He was a bounty hunter and a security guard.
And a chicken lover, apparently.
Well, the question two is we had chicken at some point, and there was chicken bones on the dining room table. And to answer your third question, we were like 11. And that was funny. There's another time where one of the kids that was there, we told him, we said, I dare you to strip down naked, run outside, spin around 3 times and scream, I'm gay, and then run back inside.
All right. First of all,
He got locked up.
He did get locked out.
I feel like that kind of makes you guys gay. You know, I dare you to take all your clothes off, bro. First of all,
Right. That's what I'm saying, telling these
It's the
stories.
same group of friends.
Yeah, it was the same.
How many of those guys years down the road just came out and said they're gay?
Well, I mean, I'm not in contact with any of them because I moved away from there about 20 years ago.
You guys stopped your weird hobbies.
Yeah, we stopped our homo escapades. But that was probably one of the cruelest things that we've ever done to somebody was stick a chicken bone in their butt while they're handcuffed and their pants are down on their ankles.
Yeah, you win that one, buddy. You win that one.
What is the most embarrassing nickname you've ever had?
My nickname at work is Monkey Butt.
Is that embarrassing?
It's weird, I guess. I do have the most famous butt at my prison, so it's.
What?
I have a tattoo of a monkey in my butt, so my nickname's Monkey Butt. Yeah, so I have the most popular butt in prison, which is.
And they've all seen your butt?
Staff,
I don't know if that's
some staff has, but none of the inmates.
I don't know if that's the way you want to say that. I have the most popular butt in prison.
Yeah, my dad's super proud.
So my nickname that I had when I was younger, it was like it made me really, really angry. I didn't like realize the meaning behind it for a long time, and I didn't understand why people would make fun of me. When I was younger, my parents called me BJ. Right. And it was for Bobby Jr. because my dad was called Bobby.
Not blowjob.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but that's what everybody else was like thinking of it as, and I didn't get it because I didn't even know that term existed at that time. So I didn't understand why everybody was making fun of me for having that name, and now I can't stand being called that.
Nobody wants to be their team. Nobody wants a good old BJ. All right, I'm going to ask you machine gun questions.
All right.
Random questions, back to back to back to back, and you have to answer them short and quickly as possible.
All right.
Or as briefly as possible. Ready? Okay. 1, what is your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay, that's good. Question number 2. Question number 2. What is your favorite hair color on a woman?
Blonde.
Ooh, okay. Number 3. Who'd you vote for in the election?
I didn't.
Very patriotic of you. Favorite genre of music?
Rock.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Favorite band? Throw a name out there. Advertise for somebody right now.
Man, Breaking Benjamin right now.
Yes, my favorite as well. Favorite animal?
Squirrel. Weird, right?
That is weird.
Yeah, it's a squirrel.
If you could be the leader of any country in the world, what would you be the leader of? Which country?
I don't have any desire to be the leader of any country.
Oh, dude, I want to pick like a third world country. So
Not even a little bit.
So I can really run that stuff with the maximum corruption. What is your favorite dessert food to eat?
It's got to be pudding.
What flavor pudding? All puddings, or do you have
Well, I like cookies and cream, but like vanilla with like of just a standard.
cookies and cream pudding?
Yeah.
I've never experienced that.
Yep. It's pudding with cookies and cream in it.
Okay. Favorite dishwashing scent?
I don't know the sense, but I prefer like Meadow kind of stuff. Like that's my dishwasher or my laundry detergent is Clean Meadow or something like that.
Okay. Zombie apocalypse. You get a main weapon and a side weapon. What would those weapons be?
Oh man, my main weapon would probably definitely be like a sword of some kind, like probably a giant machete.
Right.
And then my side weapon, because you want to conserve ammo, so I would choose probably a shotgun.
Huh.
I'm all about the close encounters.
Yeah. I think I'd want one range and one long distance.
Yeah, but what if you run out of ammo?
You run out of shotgun shells too, bro.
Right, that's why I have a main weapon as a melee weapon.
I don't know. Like if you're going to have a gun, the most ammo that you're going to find on dead bodies and as you're scavenging for ammo would be a 22 or 9mm. So something like that, just because I know that I can scavenge the area for years and years to come and still find ammo.
Right.
So I'd probably have like a 22 rifle with a scope so I can snipe from a distance, and then my close range have a sword.
Oh yeah, well then I would have a 23 because I want a gun bigger than yours.
Yeah. And when you run out of ammo, you're like, oh, okay.
Where's this 23
yeah.
ammo?
Yeah, it doesn't exist, so I guess I'm not going to find ammo.
I don't know anything about guns.
No, yeah, it's not real.
Come on, where are these rapid fire questions? Let's go. I asked you about 100 questions.
I have nothing to read it from, though.
Yeah, I cheated. Ask me questions as if you're trying to date me.
Do you wanna? No.
Is that your go-to question?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been married. I've been with the same woman for a while, so I'm...
So yeah, you wanna?
Yeah, so that's kind of my go-to question now. You down?
You DTF?
Yeah. Favorite superhero?
I honestly don't have one. Aquaman? No.
What a useless ability.
Right.
I'm going to talk to these fish, and if you ever get in this water, you're done.
I don't really have one. I made up my own, but I don't really have one.
You made up your own superhero?
Well, my own supervillains, and they're terrible at it. They're really bad supervillains. No, I don't really have one.
This is a fun little segment on trying to get to know each other a little bit. I feel like I know you a little bit better now.
A little bit more than we wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably a lot more than what I wanted to know about you, but
right.
And probably same for me, but that's just fun. I feel like I know you now.
Just a little bit. This has been Just Plain Nonsense.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Rob. We'll see you later.